Oh, here it is. Alligator Dave's calling us in. We're going to take it live. Fuck it, we'll do it live. Alligator Dave.
What's happening?
Hey, man. We are, actually, we're already recording. We were getting warmed up for you, man.
Awesome.
Can you hear us pretty good?
I can. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you pretty good. We're kind of adjusting the volume a little bit, but yeah, we got you, man. How are you doing?
Good, man.
What are you
guys up to?
Well, pretty much the same. We actually skated out. This is what the reason we did it at noon is we're still dudes with like day jobs, so we had to like sneak out to the bar with the Zoom recorder. So we're recording in the middle of a restaurant bar right now. Two guys sitting next to each other, sharing a mic. It looks very weird, to be honest with you.
Awesome.
But we're fucking fans, dude. I got to tell you, the reason we wanted to book the interview with you is it was probably, I don't know, man, like 7-8 years ago, maybe more. Who fucking knows? But I was at, I think it was Fitz Willie's. I was at a place there, and there was a guy stepped up, was going to do some acoustic music, and I thought it was going to be a bunch of James Taylor covers. And the next thing I know, it's fucking pot music and sex music, and it was like the greatest shit I ever heard.
Right on. We used to play Call Station a bunch, man. That's always was a good time.
Where are you at these days? Since we were trying to figure out if you ghosted, are you still active, or what are you doing these days?
Yeah, I still play shows. I live in Ventura, California, about an hour north of Los Angeles. I still tour every now and then, but not as much as I was. I was doing 200 shows a year from 97, 98 until like 2010, man. And then I got tired of being in the bars all the time, so I started falling back on my visual art. So now I'm doing photorealistic paintings on canvas and skate decks. I do that around 10 hours a day.
No shit. So you were
including touring when I'm not doing this.
So you were doing 200 shows a year at your height?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah. But then play it, 20 days a month.
So what?
About.
Do you miss being out on the road? If you were doing that
much?
I do. Yeah.
I do, but for me it was an unsustainable lifestyle with all the partying, man. Everything that we, everything ever.
The guy who's known for talking about parties and singing about all the good stuff in life, I'm sure plenty of people expected you to follow through with that after the shows.
Well, that's the thing, is the 5 albums we put out were, those are pretty much my diaries, man. And so, you try living that lifestyle for 6 weeks at a time, it's just a beating after a while. The first couple days are great, but then it comes in as just one long hangover.
What was like because there's always like the craziest, like there was a moment where it was like, holy shit, this has gotten a little bit out of hand. I might need to rethink something. Did you ever have a moment like that?
No, those are always, when it never got too crazy. I mean, it was crazy for the average person, but for us, it got to be, that was par. It was like, all right, we thrived for that.
But it wasn't fucking Motley Crue, right? You weren't in like an elevator, passed out or anything, going up and down for 10 hours.
No, we held it together because we wanted to put on a show, we wanted to get laid, and we wanted to drink, and so that's what we did. We never took it too serious with what it became. We started off. When I first started off, it was to get laid, and then from there, as we started making money, and we're like, whoa, wait a second, this could be something. And so when the money came, it was nice. But,
so I hear you keep saying we. Are you still with the Couch Band, or is there a different group you're with now, or?
I'm referring to We, the band that we had back in the day. But yeah, then I went solo from 2004 to. I would play every now and then with a fiddle player and a mandolin player, and then different players here and there. But yeah, the Couch Band broke up, and then now I have a new kind of group that I'm working with that I've started. It's kind of a bluegrass feel to what I've been doing. It's called Alligator Dave and the Fifth. It's me and a guy named Chuck Tibbles that he plays stand-up bass, and so we've been going with that angle.
I think when I saw you were during your like solo time, because that's all I remember is you and a guitar just going to town. and it was amazing because you could do more. Like you had that whole thing. I think there's a guy now. Well, this is like even before the days where everybody had like. Now you see all the time. You'll see a dude with like a looping pedal, and he'll do the fucking drum beat on his guitar, and then he'll do the lead. And but you were doing that sound without a looping pedal, which was always impressive to me. You could do like a whole band sound,
picking rhythm and like an acoustic while singing, rapping. You really are like a true one-man band.
Well, that was the goal. Is that when I first started playing, I'm all self-taught. I knew I liked Robert Johnson, and listening to his blues style, it sounded like multiple guitars, and so I mimicked some of that stuff. And then from there, I knew I liked reggae and ska and bluegrass, and it just kind of all manifested.
Robert Johnson wasn't the blind guitar player from Roadhouse, was he?
No, I think he has a made-up character, Blind Willie Johnson or something.
I don't know. I heard Robert Johnson. I thought,
I forget
is that
his
the
name.
fucking guitar player from Roadhouse?
Yeah.
I would love if that was your inspiration.
From Roadhouse movie, that was I forget his name.
He was a good guitar player too.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So you recreated that sound, but now when you see people do it with the looping pedal, it feels like cheating. Do you take advantage of that? Because I imagine you could probably do, some pretty awesome shit with that.
I've messed with it a couple times, but then it's just like, I don't know. I'm very natural when it comes to it and organic. Where it's,
does it feel fake to you? You feel like some kind of like weird, like technical instrument instead of just the natural vibe?
No. I like the natural vibe of just me and the guitar, and then what I do on the guitar, because I feel like I put on a show that no one else can do. Granted, I've seen people. I was walking in on Waikiki Beach in Hawaii, and I saw a guy out front of this bar playing the loop, doing reggae cover songs. Like, good for him. It sounded great for that thing. It's just that's not what I do,
So have you settled down then? Or so I'm getting the vibe that Alligator Dave has settled down. Is that what's happened? Have you called him?
Well, I mean, yeah, I've gotten a little older, but yeah, we bought a house near the beach out here. Doing my painting, staying out of the bars as much as, or not as much as. I'm staying out of the bars more than I used to.
You're in California, though, so has your weed use gone up? Because I'd imagine it's like way better to use weed there than in Texas.
Is it what? I'm sorry?
The weed use. Like, I imagine it's way easier to smoke a lot of weed in California.
Yeah, you can. Everybody's smoking out here. You just walk down the street, around the beach, down there on the strand, everybody's smoking. People can actually come to you like, you want weed, man? It's very easy.
It's only
the
like
laws just passed.
It's like $100 ticket, right? It's like a really minor thing, right?
I don't even think they enforce it, bro.
And now they just, I believe they legalized. So, like, coming up on the 1st or something, whenever the law goes through, it's the next Colorado, the next Amsterdam.
Yeah,
wow.
They don't really enforce it.
Do you think that's a thing that's going to sweep the nation soon, Alligator Dave? Do you think weed is going to be legal? Because I feel like Texas will be the last place.
I think it is. It's already started, man. It's like 10 states. I don't know. Texas seems back on some of the things now, but especially on weed. But we'll see, man.
I don't know.
I think it's already started.
Because I feel like because it's a state law, I feel like at any time if the Attorney General wanted to crack down on it all, it could be like over tomorrow. Like they could just the federal government could go like, no, that's not happening anymore, and it's done. You don't think so?
I'm sorry, you cut out. Ask that again. I'm sorry.
I was saying the federal government. I always worry that if they decided to go against it because it's all state laws, they could shut it down like almost instantly if they wanted.
Yeah, but I mean, it's state to state now, right? If they can come shut it down within the state. Someone has to enforce it. The way that I'm seeing it, the way that I understand it when I read the papers, is that it's just getting more lax. It's just not a big of a deal.
Well, and as it becomes
man, you go into, especially out here, you go in the bars, you walk around. I mean, it's just everywhere. You can't avoid it.
Yeah, well, and as it becomes more popular state to state, the enforcement costs of the federal government coming in and shutting everything down becomes more prohibitive because that's federal agents having to go to every state, every locality, trying to physically restrain people from putting a plant in their body.
Yeah.
I'm curious on the music thing because I was thinking about it because you said you got tired of doing the shows. But with the DIY thing and able to put out music online and sell singles without a record company and stuff, is it easier to make? Can you just make money by just releasing music? Like, could you just forget touring and just put songs out and let people listen to them on download them and shit? Or is there no money in that?
No, there's definitely money in it. The 5 albums I have out, I say we, but it's all my music. I wrote it all. I make money on iTunes every month, every couple of weeks actually. So between iTunes, Amazon, Google, every outlet that my songs are played at, I make money on. And so technically I could go put out. I mean, I have hundreds of songs unrecorded right now. I'm just sitting on trying to find the time to get them recorded. And then I could put out albums just online and not tour, which would be great. But it's just a matter of me finding the right studio and getting it done.
Well, that's why I was wondering about the DIY stuff because I almost think home recording has escalated so much so now that a lot of stuff I've heard stuff even on YouTube and things like that. I'm always amazed when I hear these YouTube covers. And it's like people in their living room. Now, granted, sometimes I wonder if that's fake. Sometimes I don't know how much shit is fake online. And I'll see a really good sounding, like a cover version. But I'm like, I bet they're lip syncing. And I bet they recorded that in another studio and edited and did camera tricks and shit.
Right. Well, I think a lot of people are doing it now. I mean, spending a lot of money going with a record label, signing with the record label, and trying to get it released like that. A lot of times, record labels will have a deal already cut with the studio where they increase the cost of the hourly rate for you to record with their studio, and so they're making money on it. I don't know. If you got the experience and the know-how, you can go buy the gear, do it yourself, and save money. I think a lot of people are doing that.
Yeah. So I want to know about the skateboarding thing, since you said you paint decks and stuff like that. Are you a boarder?
Yeah, I was growing up. I wasn't, anywhere near being a pro. Or we skated, drainage ditches near the house, and I think I had a half pipe at one point in the backyard. But it was always been a passion. I always loved skate decks, and then started painting just on single skate decks. And then one night, it came to me as maybe I should paint on multiple skate decks. So I took 8 skate decks, mounted them all together to make one single canvas.
Oh, wow.
It just kind of took off from there.
I didn't even realize that. So you're doing full-on paintings from skate decks. It's not like you're painting boards for somebody to ride on. You're painting them as a big piece of art.
It's fine art.
Holy shit, man.
Where can people check that out? Do you have a website or anything?
Dude, you can go to davidgrizzleart.blogspot.com, and that's David Grizzle, Grizzle, art.blogspot.com.
Do they sell pretty well? Are they pretty popular?
They do. I've sold every one I've ever made, except for the one here in my studio right now. So
I'm always amazed how art works, man, because we talked to this other artist. His name was Picasso. Have you ever heard of Picasso?
Brickcasso?
Picasso. Prick.
No.
He's a guy who paints with his dick. And he'll cap himself with paintbrushes and things like that. We did an interview with him. He actually did a custom piece for us.
Yeah, we put an exploded painting up on the wall that the dude painted with his dick, and it was pretty crazy because you can see there's on our logo we have these sun rays, and you can just see it's just mushroom stamp, mushroom stamp, mushroom stamp, and he says he's sold these things for hundreds of, not hundreds of thousands, but sometimes thousands of dollars, like a $2,000 piece, a $3,000 piece. And he was a retired construction worker in his 60s. And he was like, I think I'll try painting with my penis now. And it worked out for him. So always, if you have a cool idea, I think people grab onto it, Yeah,
definitely. Especially being in the Southern California surf and skate scene's just out my front door, bro. So it's real easy to get into it.
What do you paint? What do you typically what's a piece? What are you working on now? You said you got a piece you're working on. What's it look like?
I just finished a 16-foot by 5-foot Last Supper of all the sports greatest athletes for a restaurant bar in Chico, California. And
Holy
then
shit, dude! It was like who's Jesus? Who's the Jesus figure?
Michael Jordan.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
From left to right, it's Ali, Usain Bolt, Bo Jackson, Wayne Gretzky, Tiger Woods, Serena Williams, Jordan in the middle, then Kobe, LeBron, Magic Johnson, Phelps, Tom Brady, and Babe Ruth.
Which one plays Judas?
Gretzky. He just happened to fall there, but it could have been anybody. And then I'm working on a Bruce Lee portrait. I'm working on a scimitar. This guy's dad for his Christmas gift. And then I'm working on an 8-foot by 6-foot Bob Marley for a bowling alley entertainment venue in San Luis Obispo. And I'm working on a Stevie Ray Vaughan portrait for a commission. And then I just finished the skate deck piece that I have here is from the Life Aquatic. It's a jaguar shark with a submarine, and it says, "I wonder if it remembers me."
How did you get started in, like, this is what I always wonder about, like, fine art, right? How do you, like, dive in? How do you get the word out? Like, I'm an art guy now. Check it out. Like, to get an order from, like, a restaurant to go, like, hey, let's get Dave to do a Last Supper for us for the, main room of the restaurant. How do you get the word out that you do that shit?
How do you build the credibility in order to go, like, you should pay me for this?
Well, it's like anything, you got to build it up. In 2006, I got tired of touring, ended up in Mexico, and I recorded the new album I Drink when I was there, and I started painting again in my free time. I had an art background growing up. I had a scholarship at Art Institute of Dallas, but I didn't go. I bought a guitar when I was 18, and then it manifested into a record deal a year and a half after I bought a guitar, which is crazy. And then just snowballed into that, so I followed that route. But in Mexico, I got back into art. So then right around 2010, I had been selling a couple pieces here and there, and then I really got into it full time then and painting 10 hours a day. And then at first it was just fans and friends buying my work, and then it manifested into now where a lot of the times I don't know the people that buy my art, and then you asked about.
But they commission you a lot? Like, you'll just get like a, hey, can you do this or something like that? Or
yeah, right now I'm looking at my map on the wall, and I'm on pace to do 75 paintings this year.
Jesus.
But then I'll be finished up, and I've got probably 12 commissions that I'm working on at a time right now.
The story is starting to sound like Alligator Dave is a man with too much talent and not enough time.
I don't fucking like that. I actually don't like. I kind of don't like that he's so fucking talented. To be honest with you, it's amazing.
Dude, I have to have outlets, brother. That's why I get up at 5 in the morning to get out here and start painting, because I have to get it out, man. If I'm not playing music, then I'm doing this. But
I do understand it to a certain degree. Yeah, go ahead.
To answer your question, how does like a restaurant find it? I got lucky. This guy put a card on my door saying, "Hey, we're building a new bowling alley music venue behind your house. Sorry about the noise. Let us know if we can do anything." So I emailed him. I'm like, "Hey, man, how are you guys going to decorate the inside of it?" And then we went to lunch. He ended up, after it was all said and done over the course of about a year and a half, they bought 12 pieces from me. And so those guys knew some guys were opening some restaurants across the rest of the state. Then they got a hold of me, and they saw my work here in town. I did a Big Lebowski Last Supper that was 15 feet by 6 feet with the dude as Jesus.
I knew the dude would be Jesus.
Right. So they saw that, and then, can you do something like that for us, but with the greatest athlete? Like, yes, I can.
That's amazing, dude. It just blows my mind because, like, you have essentially done, it's where, like, I think it's, like, about putting the work, right? You've essentially built up two different careers, both through creative outlets. I've always been a guy that has done creative shit on the side because I have to have the creative outlet. Otherwise, I can't function normally. But I do it in the nooks and crannies over my lunch break at night when I go home. And I've never been able to, I was in the radio business for a long time, but I hated the business end of the radio business. I just appreciated the fun broadcasting part. So I was like, well, fuck it. I'll go make some money somewhere else and do this to get the creative portion out, but you've bridged that divide. You've been able to live off of your art, which I think is a thing very few people can do, you know?
Man, I've been very lucky and very fortunate that that's been the case. It's been, it's tough. I was very lucky because there was no lag in my money from transferring from music to art full time, which is,
well, it's amazing because you'd think you'd have to build back up, you know? You'd think you'd have to... I was watching this. Do you ever watch documentaries, like CNN documentaries or anything?
Yeah, I watch a lot of documentaries.
So there's this documentary CNN just made about this guy, James Arthur Ray. And he was like, had this same, like you talk about, you have this creative outlet. James Arthur Ray was the guy that... Did you remember hearing the story about the sweat lodge? The guy that put everybody in the sweat lodge and killed people? And
right.
Yeah. And this fucking guy, though, it was like a very similar, because he had, his outlet was like this guru shit where he had to talk to people and do self-help. He was like addicted to it. So much so that he, after he went to jail, he's now back out and he's trying to build back up that job, being the fucking guru, right? Now, granted, people will buy anything if you sell it, because now he's getting gigs again. But he had a big fucking down, and now he's coming back up. You did it without, you never James Arthur Rayed yourself. You never had a down. That was a long way of me saying that.
Man, it's tough. I mean, you get slow months and all, but I was looking at my blog site, and it says that I've done 398 paintings since 2010 when I first started the blog. So once I finish this Bruce Lee and the Scimitar, that'll be my 400th painting.
That's fucking amazing.
And that's not counting the children's story for the 24 paintings that I did for this story about a unicorn and the narwhal, how the narwhal got born.
So hold on, you're also, did you write the book or just illustrate? You're also an illustrator, is what you're saying?
I did. I illustrated it. A buddy of mine wrote it. Well, we co-wrote it.
Fucking fucking Alligator Dave.
Do you want to just lay out the rest of the things I will never achieve in my life for me real fast? Because I'm really starting to feel like a piece of shit for not achieving anything yet.
Well, there's still time, brother.
Oh, I know. I'm not trying to bring down the mood, but I'm just so impressed. Because again, we met you randomly years ago at a bar, chatted you up, bought your albums, and just like then Dave like fell off the map, and all of a sudden our producer reached out to you without really letting us know, other than, hey, you got an interview coming up next week with Alligator Dave, and we just went, holy shit, he's alive.
The thing is, yeah, I didn't fall off. The thing is that in 2005. 2004, I was living in LA, and I played this party, and I hooked up with this guy. He's a producer out here and an actor and all that stuff, and we ended up signing the contract to work together to produce Alligator Dave, the movie. So I've been working on that thing for 10 years, man, trying to get it sold, trying to get it shot. And that was one of the reasons I moved back out here in 2008, was to try to finalize that, and then ended up staying.
Well, it's amazing, man. I mean, really, it's like inspiring to me, because I'm like, we are to this day, we still listen. What are the songs we were playing the other day? High Score, we'll listen to 100 times a day. What are the other songs?
Yeah,
Coconut Rum, Pussy, all that good stuff. Because I think I have 3 albums: the 808, Bullock Street, I Drink, and the one in between those.
Yeah.
We just fucking love the music, man. It was like this whole thing about you found a way to make like party music, but also be like good music. Like you bridge that divide between the shit that we like. We like high energy, party, fun, all that shit. And the music was amazing. And to think that you have behind all that this art career and doing the children's books and working on a fucking movie, it's really. And now we're fanning out, but as you can tell, we're big fans of you, so it's very exciting to hear that you, I guess the art lives on, the legacy lives on, and we always think all the time, man, we were trying to find on Facebook or find new music. We're like, we would love to hear some new shit from Alligator Dave, man.
Man, you and me both, brother. I mean, I've got the song, it's just a matter of me getting in and recording.
That's going to be awesome.
Yeah. Beyond that, I'm married now. I have a kid and a son, and then I've got another kid on the way, and it's just I stay busy, brother.
You're going 2 kids? 2 kids?
I'm gonna have, yeah.
One was like, because I had one, and then I went, no more. It was not my, not that I don't like my kid, but I'm saying like the baby stage and the toddler was just too much, man. And but did you really love having kids? You really love children?
I like children. It's fun.
I got in trouble at a Christmas party, Dave, because I essentially what I just said to you, and I was asking all these parents, and I was amazed how many were just like, "Love it, bro."
It is what it is. You know how it is. I mean, you can go from frustration or bliss to frustration in a matter of seconds, right back to bliss.
So you have a boy. What do you got? What do you got? Another one on the way? Do you know if it's going to be a boy or a girl? What are you doing?
I've got a boy now. He's 3, and then I'm gonna have a girl in February.
You did it right, Dave. You did boy, girl, and are you going to call it at that, or are you going to go 6 kids?
No, that's it.
But that's the way to do it. You have one boy, one girl. You call it a fucking day. That's the way you do it, man. Pretty much what I'm learning is Dave fucking has it figured out, and I don't have it figured out.
You should start painting.
I should start fucking painting. We did discuss that. Can I tell you we'll wrap it up this way. I'm going to tell you our art. We had so you know like Shia LaBeouf does a lot of what is called like performance art or like modern art, which a real artist, like you probably really know how to paint, so you probably think like, maybe you don't, but a lot of real artists would probably think modern art is essentially, it's made up bullshit.
Yeah, like a blender full of piss probably does not rank very well on a real artist's scale.
Right. I like modern art, but
our idea was called
abstract art. Abstract art is like sometimes.
Our idea was called. We were gonna have an exhibit called Jar of Screams, and what Jar of Screams is we were gonna do. We were gonna let people vent their anger and frustration in the world by opening up a mason jar and shouting into it horrible, vile, whatever was in their spirit, awful things, and then they would seal the jar up and then put the jar up. And you could have for example, one of our ideas was you could have different lines of jars of screams. So at first you just have opening jar of screams, which is maybe just the artist venting his frustrations into mason jars. But then you could have things like Bill Cosby's victims, where we go talk to them, they scream things into the jar of screams, we seal it up. And you would essentially put that out as a display. What do you think of the idea? What do you think of the idea of Jar of Screams?
I think you guys are onto something.
We just need to get a lot of mason jars and do this before anybody steals our idea.
That's it.
That's it. Jar of Screams. All right, if you see that at a modern art museum, Dave, you'll know where it came from, buddy.
Right on.
Where can people check you out, hear your music? I just want everyone who hasn't heard Alligator Dave, I want to hear Alligator Dave, and I want them to go check out your art. So where can they go?
Go to iTunes. All my music's on iTunes. You can also, not Pandora, but what's the other one? Spotify. All of that's on there.
Okay, so Alligator Dave, Spotify, iTunes. Download his music. He can't ask for more than that. And the blog spot one more time, because I want to remember. I want to go check out the art.
It's davidgrizzleart.blogspot.com.
All right, cool beans, man. Well, Cyril, you got anything left? I just feel like I love this guy. That's what I feel like.
No, I have a lot of research to do. I've got to go check out this art, commission a painting. Exploded needs another, fine art piece for the studio.
We do. Okay. How much would it? Let's just ballpark here. You're gonna throw us a little skateboard deck painting. How much are we looking at for like a small one?
They differ in price, man. I'll email you the breakdown. You guys can look at it.
You should do that. Email Ralph, and we'll send you our logo, and you could say like, this is what I think it would be. Because right next to the Picasso, if I could have an original Alligator Dave in the studio, I'd fucking shit bricks, man. It'd be amazing.
Right on. Well, we'll talk shop, man. I'll shoot you over the breakdown.
Sounds good, man. We really appreciate it, Dave.
Hey, man. I appreciate talking to you guys.
Have a good one, buddy.
You too.
Bye.
Take care.